What's up? My name is Jonathan Greer, and I'm a freshman accounting major here at Troy University. I would like to talk to you all about how I've learned about what it means to be a global citizen through my studies in this class, Honors Global Challenge, and in my time outside of class and my involvement on campus. So, let's get into it. You might be wondering, what is a global citizen? And I'm going to get to that at the end of the video. I'm going to talk through it, and we're going to find out. So, coming into Troy, coming into this class, seeing this class on my schedule, I thought, wow, honors the global challenge. That is a very abstract sounding class, and it's been a bit of an abstract class. It's been a bit of a reflective class in which we've learned about how to reflect on the people around us and what other people are going through, and really just cultures around us. Really, just being aware of our surroundings too, almost, which is part of just awareness. Um, we had a gratitude scavenger hunt at one point where we learned about just like things, you know, being aware of things that you may be grateful for. And that was very eye opening. We also had one week where we were to take note of something we just noticed walking around campus. Some people talked about like butterflies and the sunshine. Some other people talked about funny things. They saw like people on scooters getting knocked over, and it this class has really helped me just be more aware of what's going on in the world around me, like my immediate surroundings, even, which is great because we're in college and there's a lot of things that are exciting that are going on, and if you blink, you'll miss it. So, just a good reminder to live in reality. Um, Within the classroom itself, we on the first week of class, we learned about how important it is to know other people's names through a name exercise, and that was really great, honestly. Because coming into college, you meet all these amazing people through all the organizations you get involved in. You meet more people in a shorter amount of time than you'll ever meet, in the rest of your life, honestly, from what I've heard, and that makes sense. It's very important to know people's names, just as to show them you care, to show them you're compassionate and you care enough to remember their name. And so that was a very eye opening experience at the beginning of class, but also a very useful and much needed reminder. The core of the class was revolved around three main clusters of ideas, you could say. First, we have the four pillars: opening your heart, your mind, your heart, and your hands. So, opening your eyes to me means being aware of other cultures outside of your own. Basically, just awareness. Just having it in your mind that this little region of Alabama that I'm from, or wherever you're from, if you're a foreign exchange student, you're from France, where I'm from, my hometown, my people, um, my roots. That is not the only place. There are other um, being willing to learn about other cultures, essentially, which we've done a lot in here, done a lot of in here, through TED Talks and other just presentations. Opening your mind means expanding your mindset to include different views, like I would say, political views, for example, people coming from different areas and different backgrounds and different countries, especially, will have different political views and other views on faith and um, views on whether the saga pizza is good or not. Someone from Italy or Belgium, might not agree with you on that. I've experienced that firsthand. And you gotta be willing to meet people where they're at, and you don't have to agree with people on things. But opening your mind to me means really understanding where people are coming from and just being willing to hear their point of view. Opening your heart means learning to truly relate to others and care about them. Um, I think many of us in this program have truly opened our hearts to the foreign students here in such a short period of time that we've been with them for like 3.5 months, and we're already really sad that they're going to be gone in a couple weeks. It's life comes at you fast, but opening your heart to others means just caring for them and wanting to see them succeed and do the best they can in life and just be prosperous and joyful. Opening your hands means developing like a willingness to serve others. So we've had we've had several opportunities to do this in this class that have helped me grow as a servant leader. I think that's been a main takeaway from this year for me, whether because of fraternities and all the opportunities to serve at Troy. Just servant leadership and the value of serving others. We've had the opportunity to do that and open our hands figuratively through working in church. Not working, but we sang a little song in a church and entertained some of the people in the Episcopal Church that most of us had never been to. That's a denomination most of us were very unfamiliar with. But we had to be a little open-minded and open our hearts to be able to truly lean into that, and we did, and it was a good way to serve them. Um, we've also done we've helped out at a food drive, and many of the clubs I'm in, I've opened my hands for sure. I mean, I've done farmhouse philanthropy, helping other people through farmhouse pledgeship, helping out at Bush Baptist Church is the church I'm involved in. Baptist Campus Ministry, I've helped out with them, setting up things, playing guitar in the band. Really just there's so many opportunities to serve, so many opportunities to open your hands. And the fact that we were really had it hammered into us in this class, I think will just it'll propel us forward in life and help us to be just great servant leaders, which is at the core of what being a business leader and a leader in general. Next up, we have the 5 lenses through which someone can see the world. I'll go through these pretty quickly. But egocentric is based on oneself. So I see something going on in the world, a potato famine, and I think about me. Oh man, I'm not going to be able to eat French fries as much. Dang it. They're going to get marked up. Idiocentric is the next step, worldview based on one's group, which could be like a fraternity, a sports team. It's just how is this going to affect us, my little group, my little people, my people group. Sociocentric is a worldview based on one's own nation, which I believe in America we have this outsized view of our own country's importance sometimes. In the national news, we hear very, very little about other countries unless we're at war with them or negotiating something perilous with them. We see America as being the center of the free world, leader of the free world, which, you could argue that we are, but we see America as being just way more important, leaps and bounds more important than all these other countries in terms of just influence and generally the people who live here, honestly, especially with the new administration, I believe, has dragged us further and further into a sociocentric view of the world. America first, anti people from other countries, which I think is not very globally minded of us. Multicentric is a worldview based upon multiple cultures, which I believe most of us in the Global Scholars Program the International Fellows, have adopted since we've been here. Getting to know all these foreign exchange students has been really great for that. Just developing a worldview that is shaped by an awareness of these people that we've met. They're from different cultures, and being able to disagree with them on some things, but also just see their value as human beings. I think we have developed a pretty multicentric view. Most of us have. And geocentric is a worldview based upon the world, which hopefully most of us will develop by the time we graduate Troy and we've gone on our semester-long, internship to who knows where, somewhere around the world. So, also, the third little group of ideas we learned about in this class was psychological, intellectual, and social capital, which are the three big areas three big things that you can bring to the table as a person and as a business leader in a global market. Psychological capital is just resilience in the face of obstacles. I see knowing how your mind works as psychological capital too, because in the leadership class we've taken at Troy as freshmen, that's required now. I have learned about my personality and my strengths and weaknesses, how I can lead as an introverted individual with some feeling tendencies, and um, as an INFJ. That's my personality type. I've learned about that sort of thing. I think it's very good to know oneself, and psychological capital plays into that. Intellectual capital, um, the next area of capital, it also plays into that. Intellectual is just the skills you have, the skills you've acquired, the knowledge you've acquired that will help you be competitive in a global market. And relate to other people. And then social capital is the people you know. So it could be your mentor, study mate, a teammate, the people you know, the who you know is way better than what you know. It's who you know, not what you know. You hear that saying a lot coming into college. Growing up, you hear about that's how you're going to get your first job is you're going to know somebody, and it is so 100% true. And the greatest thing about college, I think, has been just getting to meet these amazing people, both internationals and non-internationals. So that ties into the second part of this video that I want to talk about, which is just what I've learned about being a global citizen through my activities at Troy. So, like I said, I've been involved with Baptist Campus Ministries, which I've gotten to witness a church service that was put on in the basement of the BCM. That was for the Asian population at Troy who goes to church. It was very eye opening because they sing the same songs we do, just the same melody, just different words. Once again, we're all after the same things in life, whether it's meaning, a means to provide for family, a desire to get a desire. I talked to this one Indian man who also goes to BCM, and he was asking me for advice on how to find a girlfriend, eventually a wife. We're all after the same things. We all want love. We all want financial security. We all want to have something to worship or at least chase. And being able to interact with people, international people, throughout my time with the BCM's international ministry has been very, very, very beneficial for um, my knowledge of what it means to be a global citizen. I've learned a little bit about just camaraderie and serving, as a leader through Farmhouse and Freshman Forum and the honors societies I'm part of. So that's been good for helping. I think part of being a global citizen is also leading by being a servant, and that through philanthropy and helping out at church, helping out with the campus ministry, serving on the community service committee with Freshman Forum. It's been very good for my ability to just lead through service. So, what does being a global citizen mean? I think a global citizen is someone who has opened their mind and opened their hearts and can truly respect someone else as a human being and see them, if you're religious, in the image of God. I can look at someone who I may not agree with their views, I may not have remotely the same skin color or background, and I can look at them and see them as just just see their soul. And that's what I think being a global citizen is, someone who can see the soul of other people, see past the differences that divide us. Because once again, we're all after the same things. And it's a tough world. Honestly, it's getting tougher by the day with various threats to society, AI, climate change, other things. And I think we need to all be in this together. And being a global citizen is someone who is humble enough to recognize his need for respecting others and treating them how he would like to be treated. And that applies to people within his country, outside of his country, and anywhere in the world. It's all about just serving others, being a servant leader, and really seeing people and where they're coming from. So that's what I think being a global citizen is, and that's what I've learned in my first semester of Troy. I've loved it. Love this class. Would take it again, absolutely. Looking forward to the future. And thanks, Dr. Clint.